So can you kind of tie in all those different relationships and how Lapels, Clean Franchise Brands, Martinizing, all these brands have kind of merged and kind of developed over the years?
I can, sure, yeah. So Larry Friedman, founder of Lapels, and I do the restaurant deal. About 2 years later, I come to him and say, "Hey, I am sick of this restaurant thing. I would love to talk to you about getting involved." I
Yeah.
looked at the business model for dry cleaning. I tried to poke holes in it for about 6 months. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe how low the cost of goods was. That was the thing that really jumped off the page for me. And there weren't nights, holidays, weekends. So I really liked the business model.
Mhm.
And so I got involved. And at that time, Lapel's dry cleaning had about 25 stores.
Okay.
And we grew that business together, Larry and I, from 25 for the first few years. And then he approached me about buying him out. And I would say several years, maybe 3 years or so later, I bought him out of his shares of the company. I then grew that business to about 100 units into 2018. And in 2018, 100 units is like this magic number in franchising. Everybody will tell you that when you start a franchise company, if you get to 100, that's like when the magic happens. What the magic is, I have no idea. But at the very least, private equity companies are falling out of the sky to talk to you at 100 units. And
Mhm.
so that, sure enough, that's what happened. Grable Stewardship approached me about making an investment in our company. And at that time, I thought that was probably a good decision for us because one, it gave me the ability to take some chips off the table. And two, it gave me a little bit more firepower to accelerate the growth. I'd grown that concept to 100 stores, and I then had much bigger aspirations. I got to really be. I think at the time we were saying 100 could be 300, and I think at that time people were telling me I was crazy. And so we did the private equity deal in 2018.
Okay.
Grable took on a minority share. And then, sort of fast forward into the pandemic. The pandemic happens, and the world thinks that nobody's ever going back into an office. Nobody's ever going to wear dry cleaning or need laundry, and the industry is over. That was basically what I was told for a year from people. And we were really just trying to help our franchisees survive.
Mhm.
But it really, for me, was an opportunity, which was, hey, if the world really thinks this, and I don't believe it, it's probably a good time for me to make some acquisitions. And so that's what I did. And during that pandemic period, we went from 100 stores to the nearly 500 stores with the
Yeah.
acquisition of Martinizing, 1-800 Dry Clean, Press for Time, Dry Cleaning Station. And it was really, at that time, it was really the theory of running into a burning building. Everybody thought the industry was over. And I can't tell you how many people told me, "I'm never going back to work." And I kind of chuckled at that time. I knew that people needed to be in a live office environment collaborating. I see it
Right.
day in, day out in our business. So, that was a great opportunity to build the brand. And so when we acquired Martinizing and the other brands, we then created Clean Brands as sort of the parent company that owns all of the other brands.
Okay. That's super interesting. Another kind of thing as I kind of evaluate, and sometimes people will kind of have that question, should I start the business myself or should I franchise? And the answer is always the same. I encourage anyone as an entrepreneur to do what they feel is right.